Hello everyone, it's me again, it's Carol. Really tired, but I felt like I needed to put something up. I'm still feeling kind of bad about what happened with Lisa. A lot of her work got removed, got taken down. The thing I was discussing on the deleted video was it's hard to, as an adult child of a narcissistic caregiver, it's hard for me to face that someone that I should have been able to trust with my life literally was so negating toward me, and how it can affect the brain. It can affect you neurologically when you're always in fight or flight and freeze and fawn mode. You're in effect not able to survive effectively. You go on, but not only are you not happy, you're not in very good physical condition. You're always tired and burned out. Maybe on the positive end, you're kind of a driver, but you can burn out and you can get sick. I also got compelled to make this video because I can imagine how hard it is for parents to face the idea that they might have had some abusive or very detrimental effects on their kids, the way they were acting toward their kids and around their kids. And it's a hard thing to face. And I know that's why a lot of parents are in denial. And Lisa A. Romano, I believe, now please, I could be wrong. I don't know if I'm interpreting this. Don't quote me. You can look up the videos that she does still have. I hope she has enough on her channel to maybe give you some information. What we're dealing with, what I've learned. Parents that don't seem to be able to see that they're not omnipotent. They can make mistakes, and I know in a heartbeat they can be forgiven if they can admit those mistakes and work on them. But it's hard to face wrongs. It's hard to face being human, and it's hard to face that we could have. I could not. I tried to confront my aunt. My own story. I'll talk about my own story because this is my video. But relating to what Lisa went through with her mother, my aunt could not admit that she wasn't this perfect, ideal parent for me. And yes, she saved my life when I was a baby. I could have died in my crib if it hadn't been for her. My mother was not able to take care of me. My father had run away from the family. He couldn't face his responsibilities as a father, and he chose to drink instead and run away from it. My aunt, at least on the surface, she did something, but she resented it. And I know that Lisa's mother resented dealing with Lisa, and that's what touched me. That's what I could really relate to in her stories, her videos. And when I was watching that video the other day, I was fighting AI. I was asking AI questions about the video. I was really upset, not with Lisa, but about having to confront that a parental figure could have acted so diabolical toward me, regardless whether she meant to or not, whether my aunt meant to or not, whether Lisa's mother meant to or not. Having to face the fallout and the consequences. And a lot of parents can't face that, can't face what they've done. And that's really sad, because part of facing problems and part of facing mistakes and part of facing our crimes or our wrongs or our imperfections. Even facing what the fallout made me do all my life. She said it wasn't our fault. It's hard to face. We want to be white as snow. We want to feel like we're okay, like we're good people. And I've never been a parent, but I used to have other responsibilities earlier in my life, and I didn't always follow through with them perfectly. I wasn't perfect at a lot of stuff either, and I made some mistakes. Don't worry, nothing really bad, no crimes, but I made some mistakes sometimes, and I had to deal with it, and it was hard. And there were times when I couldn't, and I got really defensive, or I got really depressed, and I backslid. I relapsed with my mental illness because I was just so having trouble dealing with it, dealing with being criticized, dealing with facing that I'm not perfect. In my life I've dealt with people, and I've made mistakes, like in social situations even. I've not been able to stand myself, and I know for a fact that my aunt literally could not stand herself. I could remember overhearing her, not eavesdropping. I could remember overhearing her on the telephone talking to people and saying, I don't know what to do about Carol. I'm failing. I don't know what to do. I can't handle it. And I know she was feeling guilty all the time about being a bad example, about being a bad parent. I know she was feeling bad about it, but it's like she couldn't come to me and admit to me, to my face. And that's hard. That's sad. She couldn't face. When I confronted her and when I didn't confront her, she couldn't face. And I didn't confront her too often, only maybe a couple times. And I was gentle with her. I didn't confront her. I confronted her problem. I'm like, why did you raise me if you didn't want to? Basically, something like that. And if you didn't want me, you could have adopted me out. That would have been all right. We would have gotten along. And she admitted to me that she felt like she had to hold on to me because she was afraid my father was going to get me. And that was totally understandable, but being between her and my father, neither of those choices were very good. And I'm like, well, Auntie, where does that leave me? And there has been awareness in the psych community, the psychological community these days, that has said something like this: it doesn't matter anymore if your parents did your best. And Lisa said that. Lisa's like, I was confronted all the time by my mom saying, I did my best, I did my best, I did my best. And I was confronted all the time with my aunt saying that to me. And when I confronted her, not too often, she said that, and I felt kicked down and guilty, like, oh, I shouldn't have even gone there. But I've learned in therapy sometimes, I've learned in my mental wellness process a lot, that it doesn't matter anymore. My aunt was responsible for her own problems. My aunt was responsible for her own trauma. And now I'm responsible for mine as an adult. I'm not going to keep waiting for my aunt to... She's gone, too. She died. There are a lot of other people on the planet who are perfectly willing to act like her. But, that's their problem. And, why do parents have kids? Maybe they feel like they're supposed to. She felt like she couldn't just leave me. Okay, fine. But I was still another life. I was still another sentient being. I was still an individual. My aunt deserved love. She deserved validation. But so did I. My father even deserved treatment. for his alcoholism. My grandmother, that my aunt always complained about abusing her, deserved care and deserved treatment. But it still would have been up to her to get treatment, to be responsible for her own stuff, so she wouldn't have had to abuse my aunt. My aunt, I wish she had been responsible for her problems. Right up to the very, very day she passed away. I felt guilty around her. I felt like a bad kid, and I was in my 40s. Back around the time when she passed, it was 2008, and I was in my 40s. I was a 40-something-year-old woman, grown-ass woman, and I still felt like I was 7 years old, like this bad little kid, this bad, ungrateful little kid. And after she passed away, she left her pain behind. She left shame behind that didn't belong to me. I'm responsible for my own stuff now, and so was she. And it's hard to take accountability. It's hard to be able to stand ourselves as parents, as adult children, whatever we are now. Parents, don't feel like bad people. Work on your problems. Attack your problems, not yourselves, and don't attack us. Adult children, let's work on ourselves. Stop trying to make other people feel guilty, including our parents. They're responsible for their own stuff. We're responsible for our own stuff. Lisa said that. And I'm saying it now. I learned that from her and from other YouTubers, and I'm grateful to all of you. Good night.